There are times that you might think that you could be wrong, but you could be the jerk. We pose the question for you. The 194 Morning Playhouse says, am I the jerk? Jerk, 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 jerk. And on the surface of this one, you're going to wonder how Allie could possibly be the jerk. Because if you are a parent that has put on a sleepover for a bunch of kids before, you know it can be quite the task indeed. And she does a nice job. Can you imagine her being a jerk for letting all these kids come on over and have some fun?
No, I think that sounds amazing. That sounds like a great time for a child.
Well, unfortunately, Allie is being accused by one of the parents of the kids that came over of being a jerk. But set it up for us there, Allie.
Yeah. So over the weekend, I hosted like a Halloween-themed sleepover for my daughter and her friends. And it was just normal, middle schooler stuff. Like we got pizza and they watched scary movies. And I didn't give them a bedtime. It's a sleepover. They stayed up late, whatever. And I got a text from one of the girls' moms that was saying that, she wasn't happy with the way things went at the sleepover because it wasn't a good idea to feed kids junk food. And she would have set a bedtime. She's not happy the girls stayed up so late. And I haven't responded yet because I really don't know what to say. I don't really feel like I did anything wrong, but I just am kind of looking for a second opinion. Am I the jerk in this situation?
Kind of sounds like those kids that kid shouldn't be coming to sleepovers, I guess, if they don't want junk food and don't want them staying up late.
Yeah, it's that parent who needs to set the boundaries. You don't want your kid to stay up late. Well, then either you need to tell the parents of where they're staying or you just don't let them sleep over.
Well, there's probably an age where it's like, oh, come on, you didn't try to get these kids to go to sleep. But you said middle schoolers, I think. That's kind of like, here's your treats, here's your movie, and have a good time. See you later.
Yeah, when I was in middle school, I'm pretty sure anytime we had sleepovers, we would try to do all-nighters and things.
Uh-huh.
Especially if it was like a large party. If it was just a random sleepover on the weekend with my best friend, yeah, we probably went to bed. But this was a Halloween sleepover, fun night. Yeah, I'm sure they stayed up late.
I think there is a jerk in the equation, but I don't think it's you. I think it's this parent that you opened up your house. You had all these kids over, including theirs, and they were like, I can't believe you didn't put the kid to bed. I think that parent's the jerk, if anything.
Absolutely. It's the other parents. They're the ones who want to have these rules. They think the kids shouldn't have had junk food. They think the kids shouldn't have stayed up late. Well, then you parent your own child and you don't let them come over.
I'd like to see what a sleepover looks like at that house. All right, everybody. Well, it's 7:30. Just finish up your carrot sticks and go to bed. What? Is there a jerk here? Is it Allie? 237. You can call or text that number at the Playhouse. Is am I the jerk?
You're a jerk.
But is she the jerk for doing this in the first place? Lots coming in.
I mean, everyone in the text club is saying not the jerk. Someone said not the jerk. In fact, she's the opposite. Those kids probably had a blast. The other mom doesn't know how sleepovers work. That's the whole point of sleepovers, especially for middle schoolers. Someone else said if you don't like the stuff that parent is doing, then you need to parent your own children.
Well, you also could ask some questions before you send the kids over. Like, okay, so what are you guys doing? If that's concerns you have, or hey, you know what? She really needs to go to bed by blank PM. Otherwise, she's a real pill.
See, but that's on her to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
If your kid needs to go to bed early, then you tell that to the mom, or you say, actually, I'm going to come pick her up at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time, and then don't let the kids stay over.
I sent her with a sack of snacks because I don't want her eating, certain things, or you could do these things.
That's also, I would be so upset if I was that child.
Everybody else is having brownies.
Yeah, and I have to eat the carrot sticks my mom packed.
These are delicious. Jerk or not a jerk? What are we thinking?
Well, okay, I got to look at it at both perspectives, okay?
Okay.
So how late was late that they stayed up? Did they stay up till 5 or 6 in the morning and then just get a couple hours of sleep? What is junk food? I know this sounds really terrible saying it this way, but did they stay up all night drinking 5, 6 Mountain Dews and just straight garbage. And then in the morning, the child was just absolutely terrible to the parents. You see, like, you just need to know all these key details. And yes, while I understand their child had a fun sleepover, what are all the specific details that went into it?
So you want to know how late, you want to know how much sugar, like what are we talking about here to get this kind of text message from somebody?
Well, kind of. And then when you say middle school, are you thinking 5th and 6th grade? Or are you thinking 7th and 8th? Because in Moorhead, middle school starts in 5th grade. And I can tell you, if my 5th grader stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, she is awful.
I will say this much. You've added now a completely different layer to it, because I think most people heard this and went, oh, obviously, not the jerk, us included. You've added some different spins to it. I appreciate that.
I'm still sticking with my not the jerk vote. I think it's a sleepover. It's not like the kid's doing it every weekend.
Well, I tend to think if you have a very firm idea of how your kid should be eating and how your kid should be acting and when they should be going to bed, that you should probably, either alert the parent that they're going to be staying at their house of this list of things. Maybe also tell your kid, like, this is what I expect of you while you're at these people's house.
I doubt the kid will listen.
Like, a little bit of self-responsibility would be good, too. But I don't hate just for the sake of conversation, another angle on it. Jerk, not a jerk, what are we thinking?
I'm just going to write back and say, okay, whatever, in quotes, slumber party police, and leave it at that.
All right, so you would not take it very seriously at all.
Come on, who does that? It's a slumber party, right? Like, were they not a kid once?
Well, and you know what? Kudos to you for remembering a key element of this that we've glossed over. Allie hasn't responded to this text message yet. She's still got to respond to that, too.
That's all. Almost everyone is saying not the jerk. Do not send your kids to a sleepover if you don't know what's going on. And everyone knows what happens at a sleepovers. We're girls. We sit up, we talk, we eat, we laugh, and it's all about boys. Someone else said, not the jerk. It's a sleepover. That mom should have said something beforehand if she was worried about the food or what time bedtime was. Sounds like you just don't invite the kid for a sleepover anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of kids over a few times now for the girls. They've gone over to a couple of houses, and I think that they always kind of go the same. If they're coming to us, the kids come to us, I know that we're going to be telling these kids about 50 times, like, hey, it's really time you should probably go to bed, and then they don't, and then an hour later we're like, oh, can't believe they're still awake. That's just kind of how it goes. And we know when we send the kids off to a house, like, yeah, they're going to be miserable, sleepy little turds tomorrow because they're probably not going to get any sleep, and it's always true. I think you just kind of know what a sleepover is.
That's what I think. It's a once in a while thing. It's not happening every weekend.
Jerk, not a jerk.
I mean, I kind of think they should ignore it, right?
The text specifically?
I don't know. Some parents can be a little crazy.
All right, got it. Hello, is she a jerk? How should she respond? Which angle are you taking?
Oh, it's just a really, really tough one. I would say that she should sort of politely respond and say, I am so sorry that you were unhappy with the party. I will make sure not to include your child next time.
Just can't send the message like, well, I'm not changing it, but next time your kid cannot come.
I don't know. It's short and sweet. I guess that solves the problem. Bye, bye, Felicia.
All right. Any final text on this one?
It's kind of similar to what that person said. Someone did say you're not the jerk, but to reply to that text, I would just apologize. Say you were letting the kids have fun. However, don't invite the kid over anymore.
I love that we just buy Felicia in 2024. Thank you for bringing that back.
I don't think, though, you tell the parent that the kid's not invited over anymore. I think that might cause some more issues. Just be like, yeah, sorry, but then just don't invite them over for sleepovers anymore.
Feels a little vicious, but it's not an uncommon thing that we've seen pop in here a time or two.
Yeah, it's going to make the parent angry no matter what.
Is it irregular to if let's say you're the parent that's hosting the sleepover, just to kind of like when you invite these kids, like kind of clue in what's happening, like what the night is going to entail? Here's some of the things we're going to be eating. Here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be watching this movie or whatever.
I don't know, maybe nowadays, but I'm thinking back to when I was a child and I had sleepovers. No, absolutely not. You got dropped off. You went into the house. You slept over. Next morning, your parents picked you up.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. Or you walked home and they're like,
yeah.
Oh, you're back. Okay, cool.
How was the sleepover? Oh, it was good. You really don't say much.
Oh, wait, you weren't here? No, Mom and Dad, I wasn't here. I was at Toby's house. Oh, who's Toby again? Oh, Lord. Well, you're back now. It's good to see you, son. That's about how that went. How are your thoughts there? It sounds like you're not the jerk, but do you think you're going to respond a certain way, or what are we feeling there, Allie?
I hate to leave the kid out because it's not the kid's fault. It's my daughter's friend, but unfortunately, yeah, I think her mom might be ruining it for her. I'm not sure I would invite her again. Probably just going to send a somewhat dismissive text and hope this whole thing dies.
Well, and Amy just brought that up too. Like, while that is a common thing that we've got, that's kind of mean to the kid, though. What is the parent you have the issue
for the
with?
kid, yeah.
So I don't know if that's do what you got to do, I guess.
But just the kid isn't invited. Oh, you can have the kid come over. Oh, you want to come over? We're having ice cream sundaes. I don't know what you're doing with your family, but don't have them stay for sleepovers. Sleepovers are off with them.
It's also a backwards way of thinking, because now if you're not inviting that child, you're the villain here. How about you invite them? This parent can decide that they don't like your house and they don't allow them to come. They can be the villain. Wrong way to do it. That's the way to do it.
But the mom will constantly get mad at this woman for the sleepovers. She's not going to put rules on just because one girl's staying over.
Hey, you're invited to our no-sleep, sugar-only sleepover. We're going to be snorting sugar all night long. Come on over. Diet of pixie sticks.
Maybe you do let her know that that's what's happening.
Good luck. Appreciate you being on today. Good luck with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.